Hey, you guys, I don't know what just happened. My connection just went totally off, my internet connection. So I'm just figuring out it's Mercury retrograde doing its thing. So we just gonna just, you know what it is, right? We just go with the flow. So, like I was saying, I'm doing this collective message for the second week of September. The reason why I do it on a Thursday is because I give homage. I give homage to my ancestors on Thursday. I was born on a Thursday. Thursday is the day ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the ruler of expansion. Is Sagittarius is also ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is the ruler of expansion, the ruler of adventure, higher knowledge, spontaneity, dedication to a craft, um, even humor. So it's very broad. Jupiter, I think, is one of the biggest planets out there. So that is why I feel like when it's on Thursday, it's very dear to me. That's why I do collective readings on Thursday. So the three oracle cards that I got for Thursday is trust. I'm not sure if y'all can see. Uh, right, we can't really see. So it's trust. Second one is healing chaos. I'm not sure if y'all can see. Nope. Okay. And illumination. Okay, so right before we get into the reading, I'm calling in the good, my ancestors, so earth, air, water, fire, um, intergalactic, royal bloodline ancestors, the most benevolent ones to come through so that I can be the most clear, transparent, truthful, passionate, creative, stable, um, emotionally balanced, emotionally intelligent in the most benevolent way as I channel the messages for the collective. So I'm gonna start with just a little song that I'm just gonna come up with. So trust in the divine that all your gifts are fine. Trust in the divine that all your gifts are fine. They're not gonna disappear. They're not gonna go to the left unless you want it to be. So trust in the divine that all your gifts are fine. Okay, so this is it. Let's get into the reading. So the first card that I pulled was trust. Now, if y'all can't, so what I'm thinking is for the first half of the week, y'all can't really see this. Wait, let me see. Oh, there you go. Okay, so it's trust. Yeah, there you go. Now we can see it. So for the first half of the week, I feel like we're getting into a phase of um, trusting what the divine has entrusted upon us. I feel like we're in this phase of old world being completely destroyed so that a new world can emerge right out of the darkness. And so, we are going through on a collective level, everybody's going through some form of uncertainty, right? So we are being called to trust that even though we don't know what is going to come up for us, even though we don't know exactly where we are walking, how we're going to you know get out of the gutter if we're stuck or feeling stagnant. We are called to trust. So the two following cards that I got, that I draw, that I drew or draw, blah, 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 whatever, is the High Priestess and the Hierophant. Now, So the divine is asking us to trust. God, the divine source, whatever you want to call it, is asking us to trust. That's the card of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is authority, is a higher authority. You see how the 30, I don't want to say 33 steps, I don't know, I have not counted them, but it's a higher authority, right? You see the illumination on top there? You see the guy, he's sitting in meditative pause and he's just feeling guided. So the Hierophant is a form of guidance, a higher form of guidance that is being called on us to act upon, right? Usually in other tarot decks, it is represented by the Pope, but in this one, I like this deck is very much so more modern. So the divine is asking us to trust, to put all our trust in the divine. It's a higher calling, it's a higher authority, pushing us in ways, moving us in ways. And I feel like, although we don't know where we're going, the high priestess, we are slowly developing our intuition because we are trusting. See how she has her eye closed? She's just trusting. She's going with the flow of life. She's not fearful. She's fully trusting. So this is a higher authority telling us to trust. Yeah, we need to come into this position of, having to listen with our heart rather with the whole mental chatter. We are asked to trust with our heart, to be guided with our heart. So those are the two cards that I got. And again, as we are stepping out of the era of bondage, if you've watched a few of my videos in the collective shadows that I've made, right? Part of the old ways of doing things was to trust external authorities, being the church, being, you know, parents, being our communities, the leaders in our communities, right? We would be more or less trusting of people externally, of our own calling, of our own voice, of our own heart. As we're stepping away of that era, as that old world is being destroyed, we are being called to trust that inner voice, that inner knowing. And if we don't do it, we're still called to do it. Like it's a higher authority. It's not something that is an option, right? Through through some form of situation, circumstance that you're actually going through, some form of uncertainty. Could be that you've lost a job. Could be that there's some form of chaos. Um, could be family chaos, or some form of conflict that you are uncertain how you're going to deal with. Well, the divine, the higher authority, is asking you to trust your heart, trust the path that is being led to you. Higher font. Okay. So that's what's going to be happening for the first week for the collective. And I feel like when you start slowly by taking baby steps into recognizing when your heart speaks over what your mental chatter will tell you to do, you're going to come into this Nine of Pentacles energy. Nine of Pentacles is, see how she's looking at the bird? She is entrusting that, you know, the bird is not going to fly or is not going to steal her investments. She's well aware of all her investments. See, all these are the coins. The Nine of Pentacles speaks of being poised, reassured in all your investments. She knows she invested well. And so when you take baby steps into recognizing your heart's chatter, your heart's voice, your heart's calling, you're slowly going to come into a space of, recognizing when you need to move forward, recognizing the types of investments you need to be focusing on, which is going to bring you into this space of, I want to say, contentment, satisfaction, poised, trusting, right? Just more confident. And when I speak of investments, energy is energy. And one of the things that we don't speak about enough is those investments. You see those coins? We want to think that it's money, right? We've invested in the stock market, we bought a house, we bought a car, we have some form of partnership where we're invested. No, it's not the type of investment we're talking about here. We have resources, inner resources. We have physical resources, emotional resources, mental resources, psychological resources, psychic resources, multidimensional resources. We have all kinds of resources, right? So when we think of, trusting into the divine, listening to what our heart is telling us to act upon, we are being called to redirect maybe our focus, or redirect how we invest our energy into these different forms of resources, so we can come to a space of satisfaction within ourselves. Nine of Pentacles, knowing that we've invested well by listening to our heart's calling into all these different sources of investment. How are you managing your emotions? How are you managing your psychic abilities? How are you managing your physical your physical body? How are you managing your mental body? How are you managing all of your resources? And you can really start doing that by listening with your heart, by entrusting the divine that you have to walk differently, right? We need to refocus on our internal resources. Okay. And when we're able to do that, we come to a place of Four of Wands. Four of Wands speaks of celebration, right? You can't really celebrate if you're not in that space already, right? If you're not well secured in all your investments, if you know that energetically you've invested in some things that brings you deception, you can't be in that space, that Nine of Pentacles, that all your energies has been redirected in some form of investments that are sustainable, because they're inner resources, they're not external. So here is the Four of Wands. When you are in your Nine of Pentacles, you can only be celebrating. You want to celebrate because you're secure in yourself with all your resources. Four of Wands speaks also of union, marriage. And one thing that we can come to an agreement is not necessarily union with somebody else. It could be, but because my messages are, I like to focus on the collective by giving individual perspective. Union can speak of, bridging the gap between your humanity, which is your 3D reality, and your spirituality, which is other dimensional realities. So by bringing them together, and you can only do that when you start trusting and listening to the voice of the heart. So that's what we are being called to do the first part of the second week of September. Next message we got is healing chaos. Hey, let me see. There you go. There you go. Healing chaos. Okay, now you see how it's a spiral? It's a spiral of the air. Now, tornadoes, um, in the form of air movement, it is tornadoes. When it's in the water, it's called hurricane. Uh, I'm not sure if fires actually go in spirals. I'm not too sure. But we are being asked by healing the chaos to, um, we are being asked to look at the things that are chaotic in our lives. Chaotic, what does it mean? Are we in some form of inner conflict with air tornadoes, meaning our mental? Are we pulled into different directions mentally? Or hurricane chaos? Are we pulled in different directions with our heart? Because it's water and it's water element. So hurricanes, I would say it's pulling different strings with your heart. So healing chaos means, you know, revisiting the lessons, because again, it's a spiral. Usually spirals, you can look maybe and you can compare it to the wheel of fortune, where it's a constant turning of the wheel, right? But it's not at the, so a spiral is, it's a spiral, so it keeps turning, but it does not stay at the same place. So it's not just turning here, it evolves. So right, it gets bigger, or it gets bigger, it gets bigger. So we're always revisiting the same lessons. We're just looking at it from a different perspective. We probably become more mature as we are revisiting some form of lessons. So I feel like the second half of the second week of September is revisiting some lessons pertaining to our mental, maybe memories of the past, maybe lessons of the heart, right? If we had some fallouts with family members or past loved ones, or we had some form of unresolved emotional issue or unresolved mental issue, um, can we revisit those lessons? Is what I'm getting here by healing chaos. And if we feel like we're not really going through a form of chaos, maybe we are being asked to also look at things from a different perspective, right? So maybe, if you're the type to be well organized like I am, maybe the second half of the second week of September is going to require to, is it really the second week? Damn, time passes fast. Anyways, so we're probably being asked to, create disruption, right? Just to see if we can adapt, our level of adaptability, right? When chaos is being thrown at you, how well do you adapt? If you're a well balanced, well rounded, balanced person, or you still need to revisit some lessons of the past as to why you had certain reactionary responses. Reactionary responses, no, you had reactions to certain situations or circumstances thrown at you, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And then the following cards that we got is this: the Seven of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. I like the Three of Pentacles. So for the Seven of Cups, Seven of Cups speaks of options. See how he's thinking of, what should I focus on? If we're trying to heal some form of chaos, you know, are we really trying to heal the chaos, or we're just being distracted? Where are we redirecting our focus? Is it really to try to heal the chaos, or maybe is it to create more of it? So I feel like Seven of Cups speaks of, checking out your options, or what are the possibilities that, you know, you are actually healing chaos, or you're just probably creating more chaos in your life. So how would that translate to me is, so you see how, he's indecisive. I feel like the Seven of Cups can speak of abundance, options, possibilities, but it can also speak of, scattered energy, right? Thinking that you need it all because it's all there for you, right? He's indecisive, so maybe he has scattered energy. He's not really he's not really here. He's not really in that energy, right? She is poised. She knows where she has invested all her energy. This one is indecisive as to where he needs to focus his energy. And Seven of Cups, because we're talking of cups, it's more or less related to emotional energy. It can be emotional energy, but overall, the Seven of Cups speaks of options. So where are energetically investing emotionally? And to me, the following card is the Three of Pentacles. And if we make the link between the two, is probably you're coming into the knowing that you have a lot of options, and that you need to make choices as to who you want to work with. Who do you want to heal chaos with? Or who do you want to create more chaos with? It's about perspective here, right? So I feel like, there are choices or options being presented to you, but now it's about choosing, right? Three of Pentacles is speaking of participation, contract, collaboration, right? You see how they are coming together to create this piece, right? They are needing or netting, Kneading. So they're netting together this piece, this masterpiece, right? So they are collaborating together. And so I feel like Seven of Cups to this Three of Pentacles is, who are you collaborating with that's going to help you heal the chaos, or probably bring more destruction? Because you have options. You just need now to be more selective. And it can speak of people, but it can also speak of, where are you bringing you, like, what are the type of contracts, or where are you bringing your awareness, where are you bringing your focus energetically? Like, these can be people, but it can also be your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, right? So where are you focusing your energy to heal the internal chaos? It's all tied to perspective. Okay. So the following cards I got is the Star, which speaks of healing, wish fulfillment, wishing upon a star. What are you wishing upon a star for? What do you want to heal? What do you want to see come true into your life? So most of the time, wishing upon a star and healing, I feel like in order for a wish to come through, you need to recognize that maybe something isn't working, right? Where is it in your life that you want this wish to come through, to come true, but you're probably not making enough room for it to come true, or you're probably not believing in it enough. So maybe you have to heal something, maybe a false belief or an illusion, healing that chaos or that false belief or that illusion so that this dream can actually come true. That wish can be a wish that's going to bring more healing, is what I'm getting. And the last card that I picked up for that message is the sun, which speaks of happiness. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. And it could be the sun in the sky that I wanna see where you are. So yeah, the sun speaks of happiness. See how she has her arms open, ready to receive. Okay, I'm getting another message here. So sometimes when we're trying to heal chaos, it's probably because we've come to the conclusion that in trusting the divine, that we are taking the next step into hearing what our heart is telling us. Maybe our heart is telling us some truthful some truth that may be hurting us or bringing more chaos, because sometimes our our heart reveals to us some hurtful pains as to where maybe we felt stagnant. And so when we choose to heal that chaos, we choose to focus maybe on the things that brought us a form of unresolved issue, right? We can then make that wish, or we can then solve the issue. And then I was going to say something, right? We want to wish upon a star. We want to bring more healing into our space. But then it's going to require us to be able to receive it. See how she has her open arms? Can you receive the wish? Can you make more space in your heart for that wish to come true? Can you speak of the unhealed or the chaos that has been ongoing in your heart to yourself or to the parties involved? Can you heal the chaos so that you can make more space for your wishes to come true and be more happy within your heart? Is what I'm picking up. So that's going to be the message for the second half of next week. And then lastly is illumination, the card of illumination. We are ascended, we are ascending to a higher level of joy. So that's the card of illumination. So the card of illumination speaks of, well, first, if you look at the card, there's some form of mist. There's some form of, yeah, mist. Is that what it is? Fog is more the term. So there's a fog, right? The sun is rising, but there's still some fog, so we don't really know where we're going. Yes, we're trusting the process. Yes, we're trying to heal unresolved issues that are maybe pertaining to our past, to our heart, to our heartbreaks, relationships, partnerships, family. but we just don't know where it is leading us because we are transforming. We are coming to a place of ascending. We are leaving behind the old world of era of keeping ourselves into bondage, into unhealthy attachments, to where we are transforming. We are ascending to a higher level of being, illumination. Maybe the divine is illuminating a path that is unique to us, to our soul signature. And maybe we are needing to trust what we can't really see right now. It's foggy. Sometimes I stay in a place where we are up in the mountains. So when there's fog, there's literal fog. Like you can't really see more than 200 meters away from your actual position. So when it's foggy, you kind of want to take it slow. You want to kind of take it step by step, right? You don't really know where you're going. You don't really know what's the next step, but you are knowing that you are surely on the right path because you are ascending. So what I drawn for that card of illumination is the Four of Pentacles and the Empress. I like both of them cards. So the Four of Pentacles, look at her. She is not looking at you. She does not care what you got to offer to her. She is preserving those four coins. She is stingy. Maybe not greedy, but just stingy because she has to hold on to this right here. So, my perspective on this is while we are walking the path of the unknown, we are probably feeling resistant of maybe letting go of these four of pentacles or four of coins to probably get something better. Or maybe we are walking the path of the unknown and we want to take it slow. We really want to preserve those four coins because we have come from a place of healing chaos, recognizing what brings us happiness, coming from a place of worthiness. We are worthy. We know that we got four coins. We know that we're walking the path of illumination, of ascension, but we are not willing to let go of our worth because now we know we've been through healing the chaos. We know what brings us happiness, and it could be those four coins. And those four coins is not that much. We know that there are more coming. We just sticking to what we know. We are preserving our energies. We've recognized our worth and we are walking slowly the path of the unknown. Which leads me to the card of the Empress. So, the card of the Empress is see how she has the world in her belly? So, the Empress is the card of creativity, fertility, nurturing, caring, um, and trusting that, So the Empress is the card that represents all the queens of the suit, right? So all the four suits. So earth, air, water, fire. Queen of swords, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and Queens of Wands. So the Empress is, I would say, she has high intuition. She can speak her truth. She can stand in her truth. She knows where she invested her energy and her time. She's very creative. She can stay in her leading position. She leads because she leads with her heart and she knows when to use her mental. So she's well rounded, she's well balanced, and she's entrusting the divine with all of her gifts. And the Empress, yes, can speak of a pregnancy, but it can also speak of being creatively or being open enough so that the divine can do the work that it has to do on you. So, yes, you know your worth, you're walking your path of illumination, but you're also open to allowing the divine to work through you because you have recognized that you are the empress. You've recognized your worth. Okay, so maybe the by the end of next week is going to be asking us to um right, maybe as we are walking this path of ascension, to maybe we would have come to a place of knowing who we really are. Maybe next week is going to be a hell of chaotic, is what I'm thinking, is what I'm picking up on. It's going to be transformation. It's going to be just a lot of emotions altogether. But we are being called to trust that we are walking a different path, a path that is unique to us, and that the divine is working on us, is working on us. We are coming to a place of knowing our worth. Okay. And what I got afterward is the Page of Wands. The page, okay, so the page is, like I said in my previous video, the page is offers offers some form of news. The knights in how I read tarot is offering of an action, a form of an action, a form of an yes, right? They're knights. Usually when we look at history, knights are there to act. They are there to protect. They are there to um, bring some form of defense, bring some form of resolution, bring some form of action. And I feel like the pages are more there to, read the news, what has been going on in the castle. So pages for me, the page of one speaks of new idea, or, you know, being creative differently, or looking at your passion or your creation through a different perspective. See how she's standing on just the 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 um the bottom of her, not the bottom, on her tiptoes. She's standing on her tippy toe. Her leg is like she's acrobatic here. She's exercising some form of acrobatic um, creativity. She's throwing her wand in the air. She's not even looking, you know. So the page of wand for me here is um, some form of creative idea or some form of perspective, creatively is going to come as we are walking this path of illumination or ascension. So, what I'm picking up on is with the Page of Wands being here, maybe we are going to find um, some form of information, creative information that's going to allow us to trust the process more of being more creative, more open to that transformation and to that ascension. In the traditional tarot, the Page of Wand is seen as someone that is very flighty, someone that comes off as cool, very, very eclectic. So it could be that as you are walking this path of the unknown, you're going to find some form of information, some form of solution, creative solution as to how you're going to be more settled and how you're going to walk the path, or how you're going to be more creative as you are uncovering deeper truths of your transformation, illumination. And the last card that I got is the Five of Sword. It did come out in reverse, but I don't read reversals. I just like to stick to, my own interpretation of this. So the Five of Swords speaks of, um, well, he looks like he's conflicted mentally. So the sword is the sword of air, or the suit of air. Sorry. So he looks like he's conflicted mentally. He doesn't know on, he feels a little bit in desperation, conflicted, right? The crows are over his head. He wants to get there. See how over there, it's kind of like his shadow is all liberated, but his physical 3D is still feeling stagnant, or not moving, or not knowing which way to go. So I feel like the way I'm reading this is, as we are walking this path of transformation or ascension, we don't know which way to go, right? We are feeling like, okay, like, we are maybe um, conflicted as the next step that we need to take. And that Page of Wand is going to come in with some form of solution, some form of creative solution as to how we can walk this path of transformation, maybe more lightheaded, right? With more reassurance, with more creativity, with more juggling, making sure that we are walking that path of transformation, first seeming a little bit conflicted because we don't know where we're going, but eventually we kind of get the gist of it, and then we get this form of resolution that is very creative, that is unique to us, and that, we start acting upon it, which puts us in this form of walking that path with more confidence, with more self-reliance, with more creativity. And we are still in the season of Virgo. Virgo is a sign that is being ruled by Venus. So yes, it is very analytical, very logical, very beautiful. So what I'm thinking is there's going to be a lot of mental conflict that's going to arise in the next week. And we're going to be asked to maybe stop with the mental chatter, and then probably get down more into our bodies as we are walking this transformative path. And we're gonna be asked to, come with a form of creativity as to how we can better navigate these unknown waters. So maybe that's the challenge, right? As we are still in Virgo season, to get out of that five of sword, and we're gonna get out with that five of sword with this Page of Wands. So maybe with some form of creative idea or resolution. Okay. So that's the message that I got. And the final message for all three oracle cards that have been clarified with some tarot is the Four of Sword. To take it easy on yourself. The Four of Swords speaks of resting, you know, and as we are in Virgo season, see, it ties in well. Thank you, Holy Spirit. As we are in Virgo season, maybe sometimes we want to focus on the end result, but we need to have a different form of approach, and maybe more creative in the process of that transformation that we are ongoing, and take it easy on ourselves. be more appreciative, be more creative of the process, and recognizing when we need to just rest, when we need to be easy on ourselves, when we need to pull back, when we need to go into resting mode. And rest allows us to have a different perspective, when we feel like we have, we've been healing some form of chaos, everything is just changing around us. Sometimes just a little nap, a little form of unplugging will come a long way, will have you, switch up your perspective as to how, you are walking that path, that unique path. So, Four Swords, it can be a meditative state, it can be taking more naps, you know, and because we're walking this path of of transformation, I feel like we are changing on an individual level and on a collective level, and we have to find what works for us. Page of Wands. um and as we are walking this path of illumination, of healing internal chaos and external ones as well, we are asked to trust, but to trust in a way that really suits us. Get into a form of lifestyle as we are unplugging of things that no longer serves, healing the chaos, the things that you know um, was bringing us some form of 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 uh, of confusion, with all these options and possibilities, not knowing where to go, and probably feeling a little scattered, right? We're probably being asked to look at our life through different lens. What really serves us? You know, do we really need that 9 to 5 job with the gifts that are being bestowed upon us, right? When we are wishing upon a star, maybe it's to switch up your lifestyle, right? Maybe a switch of lifestyle. Maybe you want to live, the night. You're probably more productive during the night, and then during the day you're probably more sleepy, in a dreamy state. So maybe if you can recognize that and come, because you've recognized your sense of worth, you've healed some form of chaos, you are more cognizant, you are more aware of the type of lifestyle or wish you want to have, the type of lifestyle you want to have, you want to embody, the type of transformation you want to undergo, that is more reflective of your uniqueness. So that's what I got for you guys. Okay. I hope it resonated. I know my message is long, 48 minutes in. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully it resonated with you, and hopefully you're going to have, a beautiful week overall. If you like the message, give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification button. I'm also uploading many more videos on my Patreon. And I'm also developing a course that I will be sharing very soon on the Teachable platform. If you want to donate to my channel, you can click on the link on my YouTube and find the tip jar button so that you can donate and encourage me on my path, my own personal path, right? Because it's not something that, someone told me to do. It was a divine inspiration into what I'm doing. And I hope I bring value in the things that I share with you and show support. Okay, you guys, take care of your minds, your hearts, and your whole being. Until next time, peace. Yep. Peace, peace.